Hey, what's up guys? This is Rich again for another edition of Learning with Rich. So how are you guys doing right now? So in this exercise, I'm going to teach you how to create a window. This is a very basic way to create a window family. Okay, so we're not going to create fancy windows. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the basic. So it's very basic, it's very simple to follow. Okay, alright, so let's get started. So we're not going to create a difficult one so that you can just easily do the exercise. We're going to do it by start from scratch. Alright, so we are going to create family window. Alright, just a basic one. So I'm going to select the new here. So we need to select first the template that we will be using. So the extension file of family template is RFT. So after you create the family, the extension file of the family, the Revit family is RFA. Okay, for the template, it's RFT. Family templates, RFT. Now, since we are going to create a window, so we're going to use the metric window template. Alright, so I'm going to select this and then I open. And then after that, the Revit will open the family editor. So this is what we call the family editor. So we're not going to create a difficult window, just a basic one. Alright, so you just need to follow me. Now, so if you take a look at the project browser, you will see that I'm at the reference level. So what I'm going to do, and you can also see that this portion is the exterior side, this portion is the interior side. That's why if I open the exterior side, so it's like you're looking to this side. Okay, if I open the interior side, it's like you're standing here looking to this side. Alright, and then you also have here the parameter already, the width parameter. Okay, so it's already equal. So meaning to say, if I change the width from here, let me try the parameter. So if I change the width, let's say I change to 2000, apply. So you will notice it will adjust, right? So I'll just make it 1000 again. So these lines here that you are seeing, we call this as a reference plane. Okay, reference plane, if I'm going to compare that to our body, our reference planes are the bones. Okay, so these are the bones. So in creating the family, our reference planes or the bones are very important. Okay, so this is where we put our geometry. So if I'm going to compare that to our body, we use our reference plane to put our muscles. Okay, so we put our muscles to our skeleton. So we will be creating first the skeleton, and then after that, we're going to create the muscles to our skeleton. So it's just like that. Okay, so that's why there is a geometry here. It's very important. So if I go to the exterior side, again, you will see there's already a ready parameter here, the height parameter, and then the default seal height parameter. Let me just change my scale here to 1:10. Okay, and then I'll just drag this here. Okay, so let me just try the height. Okay, maybe I just make it 1:20 so we can see it clearly. Okay, so let me just try to adjust the height also. So let's say I change the height. So you always make it a point that after you create the reference planes, after you add some parameters, later on I'm going to show you, you always check the parameter if it is working or not. So you always flex it. So a while ago I flexed the width and it's working just fine. Now I try to modify the height. So let's say I change this to 2000. Apply. So it's working. Okay. Okay, it's better to work, okay, because otherwise you need to modify again your parameter. But since this is a parameter created by Revit, so you can be sure of that these default parameters here will work just fine. Okay, let me just make it 1500. All right, and then there is also the seal height here. So let me try the seal height. So let's say 900. Apply. So it's working, right? So I make it 800. All right, then I select OK. So the parameters that is in this template is working properly. All right, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to create the reference planes. Okay, I'm going to create the skeleton or the bones. Okay, so where's the reference plane? Because as you can see, there is already reference planes here. So how did they create that? So from the create tab, you can see here the reference plane, or you can also type RP. So I select the reference plane. Okay, so you have two options here. It's either you use a line tool to create the reference plane, or you can use the pick lines. Okay, anyway, I'll just use the line tool. So I'll just go ahead and create reference plane here, reference plane here. All right, so I'll create here also. 1, 2. For example, this is the design that I want. Okay, so I'm going to create the frame. So before I create the window frame, I'm going to create first the reference planes or the muscles. Okay, now after I create this vertical reference plane, if I check out the reference level here, I can also see there the 5 reference planes or the 2 additional reference planes that I created. Okay, remember from the exterior, I created this one, and then I also created this one. Okay, so that's why in the reference level, so you see I have the other reference plane here, the 2 reference plane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this dimension here. So I want to put a dimension from here to here to here to here and to here, and then I'm going to make it EQ. I'm going to make them equal. Okay, so what do I mean? So I'm going to show you. Okay, slowly but surely. So I'm going to select the dimension here. There you go. And then from the witness lines panel, so I'm going to select this. Click this one. Okay, and then I'm going to click this reference plane here. Click. Then I'm going to click this also. And then I'll try to click this, and then I'll try to click this one. Okay, so we just need to modify it again. So again, I select this, edit with this line. So I'm going to pick here. I pick here, pick here, pick here. Okay, wait. So let me just adjust this one. Edit witness line. So I pick here. Then I click outside. Edit witness line. So I pick here. And then I pick outside. Okay. And then I'll just drag it above. So this is what I want. Okay. So I want to place the dimensions like this. So I'm going to repeat. So I'm going to undo. Alright, so it's like this before, right? So let me just adjust. I click, and then I just adjust it, drag. Alright, so it's like this. So I'm going to select the dimension, edit witness line, and then I'm going to click this. There you go. And then I just click outside. Then, while the dimension is still selected, I'm going to select again edit witness line. And then this time I'm going to click this. There you go. And then I just click outside. Okay. So now that I have placed all the dimensions to my reference plane, I'm now going to select the EQ here to make these dimensions equal. So I select EQ. There you go. So you will notice I'm going to test again the width. So you always make it a point that after you create reference plane and then you put dimensions, you flex again the parameter to see if it is working or not. So I'm going to select again family types. The width here, so let's say I change to 1500 and then I apply. So it's working just fine, right? So they are equally spaced. Okay, so 500, apply. So it's working. So I just make it 1000 again. Apply. There you go. So this is the frame skeleton. Okay, so after I modify the width, so I'm going back to the exterior. This time I modify the height reference planes here. So what I do is I select this align dimension. Okay, so I'm gonna select this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I just click outside and I select EQ. Alright, so they are now equal. So I select modify. Now I'm going to flex again my height if these reference planes are still equal after I modify the size. So height, let's say 1000, apply. So it's working, right? So nothing funny is happening. So it's just working just fine. There you go. So this is now the skeleton of my frame. Okay, so after I create the skeleton or the reference planes, so I'm now going to create the geometry. Geometry that is the muscle for my skeleton or for my bones. Okay, so from the create tab, I'm gonna select here the extrusion. So I'll just use the extrusion, and then I'm going to select rectangle here. So I pick here 1, 2. Okay, and then don't forget to padlock it. So you padlock that so that when you try to change the width and then the height, your geometry will also follow. Okay, the muscle will also follow the bones. If you move the bones, the muscle will follow. Okay, so if you change the height, if you change the width, the geometry will follow. That's the reason why we are locking it. And then I select modify. Alright, so next I'll select the peak lines again. So let's say I want the thickness for my frame 50 mm. Okay, so 50. So I just pick from here, from here, from here, from here. Okay, and then I select modify. Now, so I need to trim this portion here. So I select the trim extend to corner. Okay, you just need to select the sides that you want to remain. This side I want to remain, and then this one also. There you go. Okay, then I want to use the peak lines again. So I'm gonna offset 25. 25. Okay, so I offset from here, here. Okay. So slowly but surely. Boom, boom. Alright. Okay. So this is a bit tricky. So because we are going to trim again, trim extend to corner. So to do that, I'm going to select split first. I select the split element. Okay, so I pick here, here, this line, just pick in between these two lines. Okay, you just need to pick slowly but surely. Alright, so slowly but surely pick. So we need to break up these lines here. So before we trim, so you need to break it. Okay, so slowly but surely. That's our motto in creating our family. Okay, slowly but surely. Okay, so hopefully you can still follow. Anyway, you can always pause my video, right? This is not difficult. So all you have to do is to believe in yourself, right? Okay, alright. So almost there. So after we break this, so I'm now going to trim extend to corner. Alright, so let me just use now the trim extend to corner. Okay, let us clean up the corner. Let us go. Wait, so I'll just close first. What happened? Okay, so just clean up the corner. Clean up the corner. Clean up the corners. You just need to select the two sides that you want to remain. So we are creating now the frames. Okay. So you can always pause the video, or you can rewind it so you can follow nicely. Alright. You just need to redo again this exercise until you get the hang of it. Okay. And also don't forget to tell your friends about my video channel. Okay, so you tell them that this kind of channel is existing. Okay, there you go, we're almost there. So this will gonna be the frame of our simple window. Okay, so nothing fancy to this one. Oh, I forget this one. Oh, okay, I undo. So I forget to break. Okay, right. Alright. Okay, then I select modify here. I just need to select these lines and then delete. We don't need that. Delete. Delete. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to do, let me try to flex in case there's an error. So I want to see if I change the height here. Let's say I change to 1000. I apply. There you go, it's just working fine. So let's say the width is 1500. There you go. Okay. Oh, we're almost there. Okay. So after that, the next thing that you need to do is you need to specify here the thickness. So let's say, for example, if I go to the reference level, the thickness of the thickness of our wall, if I'm not mistaken, is 200. Yeah, so it's 200. So what I want is, I want to create a frame with the thickness of 100. Okay, so I want the thickness of this 100. So you have here extrusion end and extrusion start. So I'm gonna change my view again to reference level. Okay, so when you say extrusion end, what happens is, if you say 250, so from here, it will extrude from here to 50. Okay, you see, if I try to check that, so the extrusion is 250. So you see, if I try to measure that from here to here, it's 250, right? So it's 250. So I select here modify. Now, pay attention. So I'm going to select the geometry here, and then I edit again the extrusion. Okay, so let me just open the exterior. So I will be going back again to the sketch mode. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, from the reference level, Okay, since I want the extrusion and the thickness of my window frame is 100, so I'm going to make this. So if this is 100, the extrusion start should be 50, and then the extrusion end is 150. So meaning to say, from here to here, it will start 50, and then from the 50, from here, it will extrude 150. Okay, so let me finish. Check. There you go. See, if I select this, so it says here the extrusion end is 150. So where's the 150? So I select the dimension. So from here to here, it's 150, right? So that's the 150. Now, I select again. So what is the extrusion start? 50. So meaning to say it's from here to here. So that's the 50. So that's your extrusion end and extrusion start. So the total is 150 minus 50, it's 100, right? So from here to here, 100. So in 3D view, it looks like this. So let's say this is now your frame. See? So it's not that difficult. So let me just change the visual style to shaded view. I'll select this one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the material. So I click the material here. You see there's an ellipsis button. Okay, so I'm going to select the wood here. Okay, just a simple one. So just double click this one. So it will be added here. So I select this. And then I select use render appearance. And then okay. There you go. So that's now the frame. So let me flex it if it is working. So you always flex it. So this is 1500 for example. Apply. There you go. This is for example 2000. Apply. There you go. Right? It's so nice. So the height is 1000. The width is 500. Okay, so it's working just fine. Right, so height 15. Alright, so it's now working. Now the next part is I'm going to create now. Let me just change the width. What about the width 15 also? Okay. Okay, so the next one is we're going to create now the glass of our window. Okay, so going back again to my exterior view. Okay, hopefully you can still follow. Now I'm going to select the create, and then I select the extrusion here. Okay, so now I select rectangle. Alright, so I pick to here. Don't forget to lock it. Lock. Okay, so basically we just need to trace the frame. Okay, the opening of the frame, and slowly but surely again. So make sure you lock it. Okay, you can always pause my video, and then you can always rewind it. Okay, so we're just doing it slow. So we are not that good, so that's why we just do it slowly but surely. Okay, so after you did this exercise, you try to redo again until you get a hang of it, and then you just get the idea on how to create the family, and then from there you just need to explore more if you want to add some parameters, okay, to your window. So just get the idea. Okay, so from here you just need to explore. Okay, we're almost there. So just make sure you lock it. Make sure you lock. All right. Now we are going to specify again the extrusion end and extrusion start. So let's say, for example, I want the thickness of my glass to be 50. Okay, our frame is 100, so let's say our glass is 50 mm. So I'm going to my reference level. Okay, so from here to here it's 50. From here to here 50. From here to here 50. From here to here 50. So the total is 200, right? So let's say I want 50 somewhere here. I want it at the middle of my frame. So I want 50. So what I'm going to do is, for my extrusion end, so this is 50 plus 25, so it's 125. And then for the start, 50 plus 25. Okay, so 50 plus 25, it's 75. So let me check the calculator. So 125 minus 75 equals 50. Alright, so the total is 50. So extrusion end is 125, extrusion start is 75. And then I now select check to finish. There you go. So again, while the glass is still selected, so I'll change the material. So I click this. So I change this to glass. So I just use the default here, glass. I select glass. Is there any other glass here? Let me just select this glass. Do we have other glass here? Okay, so I'll just use any glass. Let's say this one. Double click. So it will be added here. So I select use render appearance. And then I select OK. Alright, then let me check that in 3D view. Okay. Realistic. Okay, so this is now my window. So let me check again. Always check. So let's say this is 2000. Apply. Alright, so it's working. 15. Apply. Okay, let's say the width is 1000. Apply. There you go. So it's working just fine. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to save this file, this family. I'll just save it here on my desktop. Okay, so let's say this is my my window, and then I select save. This is now my window. So before I load this into my project, so I'm going to create types of my window. So to create a type, okay, you just need to go to the family types. You select the family types, and then as you can see, I don't have any type here, so I'm gonna select the new type. Okay, so let's say I want the size 1500 by 1500 mm, and then okay. Alright, so make sure that it's 1500 by 1500. Right, now after that, I'm going to create another type. So let's say this time I want 2000 by 2000 mm, and then I just need to make this 2000 by 1000. So I select apply. There you go. So I create another type. So let's say this is I want 1000 by 1000. 1000 by 1000 mm. Okay, and then 1000 by 1000. Apply. There you go. So as you can see, if you click the drop down arrow here, so I now have 3 types. So let's say I want to create another one. So for the width. So let's say 1000. For the height, let's say 1500 by 1000 mm. So the height is 15. Okay. And then I apply. And then I select. So as you can see, I now have 4 types. So that's simply how to create your family type. Okay. Alright. Then I just select OK. Now the next part is, okay, I'm now going to create a new project. Okay. So I create a new project. I create an architectural template. I use an architectural template to create the project. Okay, so this is now my project, and then I select the wall here. So let's say the wall is until level 2, so I just create a wall like this. Okay, and then let me just go back to my window, and then I'm going to load now. So I select load into project. Alright, it's now loaded. So I now have these types here. So let's say 1000 by 1000. So I'll create one here. There you go. So let's say I want 15 by 1000. There you go. So let's say I want 15 by 15. There you go. So let's say I want 2000 by 2000. There you go. And then I apply. Modify. So let me just adjust my wall. Okay. So to check my 3D view, it's now like this. Okay. So you now have your parametric windows, right? So it's a very simple exercise, nothing fancy about it. Again, you just do it slowly but surely, alright? If you cannot follow, you just need to pause the video or you just need to rewind it. So once again, hopefully this video has been a help on your side, guys. And if you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, you can just put it on the comment section below. And you can also give this video a like, and you can subscribe to my channel. Alright, so once again, this is Rich from Learning with Rich. You all stay beautiful and handsome. Bye-bye.